greatest detective in the world returns in Batman Arkham City, and playing the role of the famous superhero has never been more fun.
I should scan the crime scene to determine the cause of death.
The days of bang, biff and pow marks during fights are gone, as Batman in Arkham City is more of a moody, grisly type of character, just like in the recent films.
The attack left the victim bleeding profusely. The murderer is likely to have trace elements of the blood on them without realizing.
Whether you're a fan of Arkham Asylum or a casual Batman fan, you're set to have a very good time in Arkham City. You won't be getting voice acting from Christian Bale for Batman, but Kevin Conroy does a good job. It might interest you to know that Mark Hamill, aka Luke Skywalker, lends his talents to provide a voice for the Joker.
Get back here, Harley.
And I want to know who he is, sweetie.
No one's who you think they are, my dear. Why spoil the fun?
It doesn't take long to discover that a lot of work has gone into the presentation of Batman. As you can see, it looks great on the PlayStation 3. Along with Batman, the streets of Arkham City are dark and moody and set the tone perfectly for a great game. It's hard to put Arkham City into a category, as while it looks like a beat-em-up, it also has puzzle, stealth and RPG elements. I enjoy the combat in Arkham City, and while it's not on a par with Ninja Gaiden, it does make you feel like a badass. The combat in Arkham Asylum isn't that dissimilar to that found in games such as Prince of Persia, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You can rip baseball bats from your enemies with the use of your bare hands, or you can whip out your bat claw to do the same job. Brawling is just one way Batman deals with enemies, but when they're armed with guns it makes sense to change tactics. Detective mode returns, enabling Batman to see through walls, and it gives you a big tactical advantage when you need to silently pick off enemies one by one. Handling numerous enemies with guns requires your patience, since proceeding to pummel the nearest bad guy often leads to death. Batman has a variety of means at his disposal for dealing with bad guys, and one of my personal favourites is watching him string them up.
Vantage point clear. No sign of target.
On me. Target spotted.
Target has vanished.
On me. Target spotted. Target is moving this way. Target is moving this way.
Knocking out baddies and completing missions earns you experience points, and you get 1 point to spend on an upgrade whenever you level up. You can upgrade your batsuit so you can take more melee and bullet damage during fights, or you can upgrade your combat skills. Arkham City is a large place, and it's fun travelling around the city as Batman because of the means he uses to get around. You won't drive the Batmobile during the game, but who needs it when you can have so much fun getting around with your Batclaw and cape?
I'm so hungry. Where'd all the food go anyway? You think's in it anyway? Titan? Seriously? You mean that stuff that the Joker was using back at the asylum? Yep, that's the stuff. But that crap turns people into monsters. What would happen if...
The gadgets in the game are great, and while they don't serve as powerful weapons, they'll help you to survive and to solve puzzles. Those who want additional challenges to stretch their grey matter can take on side quests from the Riddler or other famous baddies familiar with Batman.
Can you imagine what it was like, Batman? I was numb. I'd lost everything and I was alone, crying like a baby staggering through the streets of this city, until I found the answer that I had been looking for. I stood there on the Sprang Bridge, looking out at the sea. I felt the warm breeze on my skin, and it felt right. I looked down and imagined myself falling into the blissful arms of my mother. And then he appeared. He held out the knife and demanded my money. My money!
The main game is reasonably lengthy and will probably take you 20 hours to complete, but you'll be playing a lot longer if you take on all the side quests. There are numerous boss battles in the main game, and while the majority of them take little effort, others will have you retrying. There's no player versus player option if you want to play online, but you can play Riddler's challenges and compare your skills through online leaderboards. The challenges enable you to take on groups of bad guys, and you can set conditions for achieving victory. The conditions you set can be anything from clearing a room within a set period of time to taking enemies down with gadgets. Once you've completed Arkham City, you can play again in New Game Plus mode, where you start with all your gadgets, but the bad guys are a lot tougher.
We'll make sure this hurts.
There's still lots more to find out about Batman Arkham City, so be sure to check out theprotagonist.org for the full written review. If you own a PS3 or a 360 and you have the slightest interest in Batman, then you're sure to enjoy grappling and gliding around the city.
Successful. Inmate targets neutralized. Casualties in Sector 3 are high. Returning to base.
I've got the code. I'm heading to Wonder Tower.